What's up, everybody? Today I'll be talking about the web of karma. So I hear it marked on the board, the initial emergence or the initial beginning of karma, of a karmic bond, of a karmic relationship, of a sacred and incredible experience that is quite necessary in the incarnational experience of humanity and any other being that is seen as an individual among others who are also individuals. Karmic is this necessary part of what the one creator has established as a tool and a device for us to become in tune with the unity and oneness of all. So let me begin. The beginning of stimulation, whatever you are stimulated by, generates a process or a system of thought. And those thoughts begin to, the more that you're stimulated, the more that you become not aware of what you're no longer viewing your thoughts. Your thoughts are what you are associating yourself to be. So when you're stimulated by something and it continues to go on and on and on, it gets lodged deeper and deeper within the root of mind, and it becomes further ingrained or further entrenched within the space, within the location where the memory and the experiences collect. Okay? So along with the experiences and the memory is also the intellect, is also the sense perceptions, all that you have, made of priority or importance enough for you to be able to recall them or recollect them, given a desire or the will of just doing it when you want to, remembering when you want to remember. And many people's problems are not dissociating, not being able to dissociate from a memory. Anyway, that's a topic for another discussion. But the stimulation that occurs within you, which is occurring rapidly without you even having any real choice or awareness of, is self-awareness of, is occurring millions and billions of times each moment. And I believe, don't quote me, but each second you are using your eyes, and all of your senses, you are beginning to, or you are using approximately like 4 gigs of data each second, just with the receptivity of using your senses. So this is all stored within the and super consciousness of your being, and while it gets lodged further and deeper into the space where all this stuff is collected, which is not your brain, but that's another discussion also. The stimulation that happens in each moment, whether it is your choice or what direction you point your awareness towards, doesn't matter where it is. The stimulation that occurs is generating interest. You are investing your awareness. You are investing and paying, literally loaning the most valuable resource you could ever have, which is your attention. You are loaning that which you are being stimulated by, your energy, literally just through viewing it, through being aware of it, and then associating it with you is also garnering more and more of a reciprocating kind of dynamic that is symbiotic, that is helpful as well as harmful. You know, how it is used is completely an art form and a science, and I hope to touch a little bit on that today. So the stimulation and the interest and the investment that you place into things, people, places, events, shows, books, pets, rocks, hiking trips, anything and everything is an investment of your awareness and your energy, because as a finite resource of the body, as a incarnated being that is supposedly or allegedly a singular form, a singular entity, this impression that we have of that is designed particularly and specifically for the device of becoming more aware. And I talk about this in other videos, but essentially what I'm getting at here is that everything that you may do in your life, any and all things you are paying attention to, you will be karmically attached to. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. The thoughts that you have within your mind at any given time, any given place, any given person, those thoughts are karma. Thoughts are a reflection of the past. They are, even if they're experiences that have never occurred, the future or your imagination is completely based on the five senses, your sense perception, and it is based upon your previous experiences. So even though it is incongruent with any past experiences, what you dream up or imagine, even though that may be the case, it is still in contrast. It is still in comparison to a previous experience you've had through the five senses. So the stimulation and the, let's say, the entertainment of any thought, the assumption that you are what you are thinking, is a form of karmic attachment. Okay? So if you have ownership of something, that is a karmic attachment. If you are involved, or I didn't write this one down, but if you are also belong or are involved in anything and anybody, you establish a karmic relationship. If you are responsible for anything, you establish a karmic and sacred, amazingly powerful opportunity that is karma, that we have note of as karma. If you believe that you are attached to anything, say for instance this body, or your house, your job, your kids, these are all forms of attachment. The problem is not inherently within the attachment itself. The problem lies within your perception of the attachment, in the perception or the attitude of the connection that is made. So if you have a negative or let's say a lacking or limiting belief, idea, perception that what you are giving your attention to, if you have this kind of heavy, deprecating, kind of slow, kind of sluggish feeling about what it is you're giving your energy towards, then this is going to affect you in a not so pleasant way, and it is going to give you some negative or non-desired drawbacks, which are infinite in scale, but essentially what is going on is that you're repeating the past over and over again, so that what you are, that is beyond your conscious awareness, which it goes into deeper and deeper, infinitely more so, exponentially into the sub, the un, and the super consciousness, that from where you operate from, the transpersonal self, which is not impersonal or personal, but beyond these, what you and the other is, that beingness, that experience, that presence that you are, is untouched, it's impenetrable. It is completely impossible to get that into a karmic bond that it cannot get out of, okay? So you're under this impression that you have this karmic bond that you can't get out of, but there is actually a much larger, much more wise, and much more significant portion of you that has seen a much vaster, much more lengthy amount of the creation than you as the human being watching this video has, okay? And that portion of you is that which cannot be affected by karma. And you can enter this location, you can enter this presence, this state of being on command, and it takes practice, it takes training, but this state is essentially ineffable bliss, is ineffable experience that is beyond good and bad, is beyond explanation, it is beyond description, definitions, assumptions, or specific qualities or quantities. It is beyond all that, and it is the state of no thought. And within this state of no thinking, karma, time, and all that you are afraid of losing ceases and halts to be a thing within your consciousness. It ceases to be a proponent. It ceases to stimulate and invest your attention in it anymore, and you are then in that moment alone able to divert it in a different way. It's okay if you go back constantly and consistently back to this previous responsibility, attachment, involvement, ownership, or belonging. That is completely fine. It's normal, okay? And it is highly beneficial to do that. And you can, once you are aware of this going back, you can then again, now, from that moment of being aware that you have gone back, can now turn your direction in a new direction. And within that awareness that you are perceiving from, you are now free from the constant circle or cycle of this karmic attachment, okay? So the web of karma is intricate, and it is confusing, and it is also the illusion that we are all under, and it's what Eastern philosophies have called as Maya, or illusion, and that is essentially all thought. All thought is the illusion of reality. It is a bias and distortion of what is, because what is not thoughts, and what is, you cannot, for instance, crack open a rock and find thoughts in there, because it is not a description, it actually is something. So without going into that, the karma that we all generate is sourced and it is primary to the stimulation that we give our senses. We give our five senses, okay? So karma is a very important mechanism for the survival of this entity, of this sense of individuality, the sense of I or me. It's very essential to have that, and you cannot have it without karma, without the web or the illusion. So there's a very specific purpose for this device of karma, incarnation, samsara, on and on. And the continuing and consistent incarnation or revisiting of a theme, of a person, of a place, of a thing is all part of you becoming free from it in the way that you are no longer feel like that you don't have a choice, okay? Because you do have a choice in each moment to shift your awareness or to just simply witness. Okay, that's your two options, guys. I'm giving it to you. You can either shift your awareness or just be aware of what is already happening and has happened or is occurring. And these are the basic two. So use them with discernment. And the karmic ongoing attachments that we have are because of our thinking, is because of our thoughts, is because the quality of which we surround our five senses with. It is the relationship that we have with what we surround our five senses with. So I can really just go on about all the things in the universe and the physical perspective of being able to be perceived. I can go on infinitely about what it is you can be karmically attached to, but get this essential piece that the karma that you are repeating is your thoughts, your thinking, your attitude, your perception, your realizations, your learnings. All these are mental, okay? And that's where everything stems, is the mind. The body is the creature of the mind. So get clear on what it is that you are. Let me rephrase that. Work towards clarity, and then let clarity do the work for you, okay? Don't do anything unless you're clear about it. So the web of karma can halt, and it does, when you literally stop time, when you stop thinking, when you enter into the presence of what it is you are. And that can be the bodily senses, that can be on a mental level, the transpersonal you that is aware and is aware of no thought, is aware of no longer thinking, and also is aware of the one who thinks, okay? So there's many ways I could phrase this. There's many techniques or practices that you can do. I can give to you. If you guys want, I can list some that have helped me. You can just ask your questions in the comments, and I'd love to help. But it is not my job to tell you what to do. That's your own. That's your own duty. That's your own honor to do that. So I hope that you become free and you become joyful and blissful, and you recognize that the divinity in all beings, the sacredness in all moments, in all places, in all people, and you become aware of this immense freedom that we have at our disposal at any moment, because we are so free that we are able to pretend or think or perceive to not be free. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on another video.